with periodic scenic peak-aboo views like these. Yeah, I don't know the vintage of this fire, but it looks recent. Today we're riding in Burns Lake, British Columbia, and we're in the Boer Mountain recreation area, and I'm about to rip down the Razorback Trail, a black diamond technical rip all the way down the mountain. So let's go do her. Okay, I'm now at the top of Boer Mountain, where the Razorback Trail begins, and this is the view of the Bulkley Valley. So that's the Bulkley River down there, and I believe that's Burns Lake, little town. So this is what it looks like from the top of the mountain. Okay, Razorback. So this is day 2 in Burns Lake here. We rode here yesterday and it started to rain quite hard on our descent. You can hear my brakes squeaking from yesterday. Hopefully that goes away. It's kind of annoying. And we rode the When Pigs Fly trail, a really fun, bermy, flowy trail. But because of how wet my camera got, I don't know if any of the footage is all that good. But for an intermediate flow trail, it was great. Kind of like a downhill park, but without all the brake bumps that you get in those popular parks. Lots of nice switchbacks in here. And so there was a bear in our campground last night. We didn't actually see it, but our neighbors next door, their dog got wind of it and started going crazy, as dogs do when they smell bears. Oh, here we go, cool. Yeah, nice. Nice. So this trail is about a 640 meter descent over 14 kilometers. So it's going to be a fairly long ride. I see some undulating portions here. A couple of days ago I rode that backdoor trail in Smithers. It was a slightly bigger ride than this. Another epic alpine rip. I think it was like 700 meter descent. And in that case, I hardly had to pedal. So the other cool thing about this region is right at the bottom of this trail network is a campsite by Rec BC, and there's I think 16 sites with flat gravel pads to park on, and pit toilet and picnic tables, and it's free, and they're all nicely spaced, so there's some privacy. So what a cool place to hunker down for 2 or 3 days, free camp, and ride these very cool trails. Very well designed and constructed trails. Lower down there's networks of woodwork, boardwalks, so on, that are quite amazing, which I haven't ridden yet. I've seen them, so I'm going to ride them next. Peek-aboo view right there. Pause for a sec. Yeah. Yeah, bear scat. So there's definitely bears here. But this trail is more a typical high alpine trail than the more manicured and groomed trails further down below. So you definitely want to see some of those videos if flowy, manicured trails are more your thing. But I am a big fan of high alpine technical trails in the wilderness. With periodic scenic peek-aboo views like these. And who doesn't like a beautiful, lightly ridden, loamy, flowy wilderness single track? Oh yeah, another beautiful view from within this former forest fire. Looks like an old cut block that's been burned. Oh yeah, look at this. I rode the what was it? Gosh, I forget the name. The whole enchilada, the bypass trails around Burro Pass, rides right through a similar forest fire devastation. And as concerning as forest fire is,
it's also very cool to see the remnants, not just the burnt trees, but the grow back a year or two later. How much the flowers pop because of all that ash. It creates food for fresh vegetation, fertilizer. Yeah, and I also rode a trail in Flagstaff, Arizona, that rode right through a complete burnout. Yeah, I don't know the vintage of this fire, but it looks recent. I mean, here in BC, we've had nearly annual recurrences in the summer of wildfires throughout the province. Just recently here, not in BC, but on the BC-Alberta border, the very cool tourist town, scenic mountain town in Jasper National Park was devastated by a wildfire that blew through and caught everyone by surprise. And about a third of the town is gone. So, yikes. I actually have personal friends that have either owned properties there or have friends of friends who own properties. So the community is definitely in mourning right now. Further to my wildfire story, I also rode a trail, high alpine trail in near Ketchum, Idaho, that went through a complete burnout on the climb. And while we were riding through this forest like this, we heard a crack, and it was just that split second where, or the moment where the burnout, that the tree had toppled down near the trail, and kind of spooked me because, you know, if a tree falls on you, that can be pretty serious too. So the point is that after these fires, the remaining standing dead trees become liabilities. And it hadn't crossed my mind, in fact, how risky riding through that fairly heavily forested area was. Yeah, so we're seeing signs of some of the blossoming flowers. Yeah, so you can see some what looked like fresh cuts, tree removals here too. So maybe that's what they were trying to do. Wow, that was a huck. Yeah, there was also, I mean, now come to think of it, holy, a trail in Washington State near the little town of Methlo. There's a trail system, and we also rode through a devastated forest, and they had all these removed trees. And they had used the trees to create features on the trail. And so it was actually kind of a cool way of salvaging something of the trail in the forest. Kind of like you're seeing right here. like all these trees that they've removed. Wow, that's pretty massive. Wow. So the description on Trailforks mentions nothing about this. So I guess this is probably within the last couple of years. Holy, that looked a little sketchy. The logs were rotten. Whether that was safe to ride, I got away with it. Bear scat, fresh. Hey, bear. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got bear spray in my bag, readily handy, but you never want to have to use that. In fact, you never know if it's even going to work. I've heard stories of improperly deployed bear spray just pissing the bear off even more. So, and to make sure you're downwind of it so it doesn't back spray onto you and all that stuff. But you can't always guarantee the bear's going to be downwind when he charges you. Oh yeah, this is technical and gnarly in here. Hey, bear. It's kind of cool. Through a swamp. Well, that was a pretty epic ride. Technically, it's not all that challenging a trail. It's scenic in spots, flowy in spots, technical in spots. It's a solid black, but what makes it difficult is the undulating nature. I wasn't really prepared for the number of steep, punchy little ups and downs, ups and downs. I was focused more on the 600 and some meters of descent, and now realizing that you're going to climb probably another 150 or 200 meters and then descend some more. So the punchy nature kind of wore me out. It took me about an hour and a half to ride that. So it's an epic, big alpine trail, certainly worth doing, but you want to be fit for this. So thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.